Video game voice actors have gone on strike. Will it impact any of your favorite games? And are any of your favorite voice actors involved? Let's give it some thought. What is going on, you wonderful thought-having people, you? Give it thought, back here today for another important gaming news update. I've been wanting to talk about this strike for a while now, but other news kind of got in the way. Nintendo Switch and Red Dead Redemption 2. But now is better than never, so what is this video game voice actor and motion capture artist strike really over? To answer that question, let's get right into this one. Okay, so what is all of this about? Well, money, obviously. But beyond that, the strike happened because the voice and motion capture actors feel like they aren't being offered enough incentives and security in their professions. Whether you agree or disagree, I'll leave that up to you. First, let's look at who is doing the striking. It encompasses all video game affiliated members of the SAG-AFTRA union, which we don't have an exact number for. But according to the SAG-AFTRA official website, it represents approximately 160,000 people, so I expect a good portion of that is involved. And there are some pretty popular names associated with this strike. There's Jennifer Hale of Mass Effect and BioShock Infinite fame, David Hayter, who is best known as Solid Snake and Big Boss, and Will Wheaton, who is more famous on the in-person side of things, but has done quite a few video game voices over the years. He's done voices for Fallout New Vegas, Grand Theft Auto 5, and even the hidden gem Brutal Legends. Mr. Wheaton comes back in a second, so stay tuned for that. It is important to remember though, not every video game voice actor is affiliated with this union, and they aren't striking against every single game company either. Mostly it is just the big guys like Activision, EA, 2K, and Warner Brothers Games. There are also some smaller companies on there too, like one of my favorite developers, Insomniac Games. But let's take a look at what led up to this strike. According to the SAG-AFTRA Why We Strike newsletter, they say that SAG-AFTRA tried for more than 19 months to negotiate a deal with employers in the video game industry. Meanwhile, performers have been governed by the more than 2-decade-old contract still in place. That has left voice actors without the protections necessary to work in the modern video game industry. At first glance, that whole protection thing may seem trivial. But if you think about it, these voice actors are putting their careers on the line every time they scream too loud. Just this past June, David White, a SAG executive, wrote to the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, better known as OSHA, that increasing numbers of voice actors are reporting that they are experiencing both short-term and/or long-term damage to their vocal cords due to the intensity of the vocal demands put on them by their employers. I know he might seem like an inside guy, especially since the strike, as SAG-AFTRA said, has been 19 months in the making, but you'll be glad to know White wasn't just looking out for the interest of his union members. According to research by 2 doctoral speech specialists, the vocal stress from video games is causing medical problems that include vocal nodules, cysts, polyps, and in some cases, cord hemorrhaging. If you were a voice actor, would knowing that make you ask for more money? Probably. And all of this isn't even taking into account the motion capture artist's health-risking occupation. Kane Hodder, best known for playing Jason in a few Friday the 13th movies, is reprising his role as the slasher in the upcoming Friday the 13th game. He was seriously bruised during the motion capture work along his tricep, and odds are it made it difficult to perform stunts. Also, Nolan North, arguably the most renowned video game voice actor and mocap artist, went through all the motion capture for Uncharted 3 with broken ribs. The break didn't happen during the mocap session, but imagine running and jumping with 2 ribs broken, or as North described them, snapped off from the sternum. You're probably wondering why North didn't just call in sick like a normal, sane person would do. Sure, he plays the charismatic near superhero Nathan Drake, but he's still human. According to the aforementioned Will Wheaton, who is quoting from a SAG-AFTRA group email, "Our employers want to be able to fine you $2,500 if you show up late or are not attentive to the services for which you have been engaged." So clearly Mr. North didn't want to lose all that money because of a couple cracked ribs. According to the Mayo Clinic, in the best of cases, broken ribs will heal on their own in 1 or 2 months. Say North took the month off for his health. And just for this example's sake, let's imagine the motion capture work is 5 days a week. That is up to $50,000 in fines. I'd probably work through the pain too. But of course, those are just some extreme examples. There's another side to this story. When Mr. Wheaton, yeah, there he is again, wrote that blog post I quoted earlier about the fines, a certain employee at Ubisoft did not take too kindly to his criticisms of the industry. Far Cry 4 creative director Alex Hutchison let his anger be known on Twitter with this tweet: "If Will Wheaton gets royalties on a game before myself or any of the others who spent years, not weeks, working on it, the system is broken." This was followed up by Arcane Studios, best known for Dishonored, very own level designer Sean Elliott in a tweet saying, "So hard to find sympathy for voice actors when some performers make more in a day than developers do in a year of 12-hour days." Mr. Elliott has a point. When looking at a video game creator creators' salaries, that is pretty apparent. In 2014, game designers like Elliot made an average of $73,864 that year in the US. That's not bad pay by any means, but compared to the hourly pay of voice actors, it is pretty low. If we go by the average, a video game designer earns a little over $40 an hour. According to the SAG minimum for video game voice actors, they are paid $200 an hour, at the least. So knowing that, it is pretty easy to see why designers would be upset about them wanting royalties when they don't get them themselves. Of course, voice actors don't have what you would call steady jobs, so a single gig could be all the work they get for a certain amount of time. But the big players like Nolan North and Jennifer Hale consistently get work, and I imagine they call for more than $200 an hour. And that is barely scratching the surface of this intriguing story. But I think I've given enough background on both sides in order for you to form your own opinion. So why not tell me what you think down in the comments? Are voice actors so important to video gaming that they deserve the compensation they're striking for? Or are developers the ones who are getting shafted here? Let's talk about it. And I think that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video, you know what you have to do. Hit that like button for me, and if you're new here, why not subscribe? I put out a new video every single day, so if you want to be caught up on the latest gaming news, the best way to do that is to hit that subscribe button. And if you missed the video I did yesterday, it was all about why the long-necked dinosaur that appeared in the No Man's Sky trailers didn't appear in the game. It's pretty interesting, so go check that video out. But I think that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, give thought to everything.